Hey Taurus Geminis, welcome into your love message for April 2025. I thank you so much for being here, for your support as a patron, and I hope that these messages serve you well when they are meant to. We're going to start off with the Journey of Love Oracle to see where you are at in your own inner world of love. And then we'll pull from our more relationship-oriented oracles to get any details or necessary knowings about what you got going on in your romantic or love connections that maybe are platonic, okay? Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, what's going on with Taurus Geminis in love and romance for April 2025? All right, you've got the Blood Dance, 42. Let the Feminine Lead the Way. And Across the Waters. Interesting, okay. So there's definitely maybe a little bit of distance that you feel, maybe with the energy of love, the spirit of love. Maybe love feels like it's far away from you, but I do feel you reconnecting with feminine energy, definitely internally, okay? And maybe learning how to let that inner Empress, that inner Venetian energy we all carry, show you the way across the waters, right? Like the way is across the waters. So maybe there is some sort of emotional terrain that you're still learning how to master or embody or heal through, and the Blood Dance. So there could be something about the moon cycle for sure for some of you guys, but I feel like that energy would speak to more or less like something in the DNA, something that your soul has been dancing with or engaged with for a long time. It's like rediscovering something that's very primal to you. Maybe this is a little bit of like a Kundalini awakening. There will be a lot of that moving out through the conscious collective this astrological year, so you might be a part of that wave of movement that's kind of helping you, again, reconnect with the feminine energy, balance that out with your masculine energy, and let that balance lead you forward, okay? But definitely there could be some emotional waters or emotional energy that might be really in the face or kind of heavy on the mind for April, okay? We'll read a little bit more about these energies a little bit later on in the reading, okay? But let's just get the tarot. 42, 39, or 23 could be significant numbers for you. Let me make sure I got everybody on screen. Okay. Hold on one second. Oh, and I do have family here watching the Final Four for March Madness, so if you hear any shouts or screams, that is just them. Hopefully it's not too distracting, but just want to give that disclaimer, all right? Okay, so the Blood Dance. What's the Blood Dance? What is this about for Taurus Gemini in love? Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. An opportunity to shift, an opportunity to change, an opportunity to expand. The Sun, whoa, talk about expansion, absolutely, a positive thing. This is a shift maybe in your spirit. That even looks like a sun, right? Definitely a shift in your spirit. Feeling optimistic. Yeah, feeling optimistic. Maybe you've been getting a lot of downloads when it comes to love and romance or your relationships and partnerships. Definitely go check out your astrology reading from earlier in the month. Profound, that 7th house energy came out. Profound relationships. So this could be a little bit of an extension of what we talked about in that reading. And then the Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's like you might be feeling a little bit more free in your energy, a little bit more open-hearted than you are used to. Maybe hopeless romantic energy resonates with you, or that's kind of what you feel you're in, where there is this desire, this strong desire for that kind of romantic connection, but maybe seeking it out or trying to find ways to connect with it, yeah, has proven to be a bit of a challenge. The 5 of Pentacles. Something about love maybe feels fleeting to you. Like it's hard to hold on to. It doesn't stay for long. It never lasts. Like be mindful of those agreements that you're making with your conscious and subconscious about what love is. Because maybe that could be a part of the blockage here too, if there is one. Clarify the Five of Pentacles between let the feminine lead, the Five of Wands. Yeah. And the Seven of Pentacles. Exactly. There is that sense of worry that kind of clouds this Knight of Cups, just heart open, sunshiny, raw, just like natural lover that you are, right? Or the natural raw love that wants to come out of you. Optimism, yeah. I think this is something about having high hopes. You see how that Eight of Pentacles just dipped right on under this Knight of Cups? Something that got to be worked on a little bit, my loves, okay? Just a little bit. A little bit. I think too, you know what could be a big trigger here possibly? It's all good when it's new and it's fresh and it's fun and it's lighthearted and you're in that kind of romantic energy. But when the challenges come, the bumps in the road, maybe some form of disappointment shows up, or somebody drops the ball in something, or again, some sort of hiccup happens, that could be where the challenge or the struggle to maintain that sense of Knight of Cups energy towards whomever you're with or connected to kind of comes in. Like, it's hard to move past the bumps that are inevitable when it comes to relationships, because everyone's growing. Well, I won't say everyone's growing, but you're learning each other more and more. You know, you're adapting to one another, especially if this has been long term. But nobody's perfect. And so be mindful here, Taurus Gemini, that you're not seeking out perfection where it doesn't exist, okay? Or putting yourself under pressure to be perfect where it's not necessary or needed, okay? That'll take away from your humanness if you were perfect. So I think there's a need to really, yeah. Nine of Swords. Work through the anxiety of it all. Oh, Page of Pentacles was just floating randomly over there. I guess I'll pull it out. It wants to be on the board. But that Two of Wands in reverse, yeah. It's this almost, and I'm gonna say it right, this habit of running away when things get hard and things get tough. When things fall short of your ideal perfection when it comes to love and romance, or when you fall out of that cloud nine energy and start having to deal with the reality of people or the human parts of people, that's where maybe this desire for new, or nope, this isn't it, this isn't perfect, this is, kind of kicks in. And you gotta just be mindful of that, okay? You gotta be mindful of that, because you know what? You're gonna come up against it no matter who you entangle yourself with, no matter who you kind of connect with. Everybody's human. So maybe this is more or less that internal viewpoint of you are also human, Taurus Gemini, and nobody is putting pressure on you to be perfect but yourself, if that relates to you, okay? So the more you ease up off of becoming a perfect person, the more imperfections you can accept in others, okay? But that could also lead you to a path of only having surface connections. The Magician fell on the floor. Only having surface connections. And then you're lacking that depth. You're lacking that sense of consistency or dependability because it's always just been surface. So then when you're ready to dive deeper, you're not connected to the people who can. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're not allowing... You're not... allowing yourself to just be. I don't know how else to say that. You just be, right? And honestly, what makes love so rich are kind of the imperfections, because no one's perfect. But you love them despite. You love them with that all in view, which makes them even more lovable because they're human, right? So again, I think if that's hard to access in your heart, it's because you're holding yourself to such a high standard, Taurus Gemini, that it's impossible to meet. And I don't want to say impossible like it can't happen, but you're setting yourself up for disappointment in some way, shape, or form here, okay? Clarify? Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. There's no depth there. It's just surface level obligation or entanglements or connection. It's not stemming from a space of love. It's maybe even stemming from a space of, this is what I can control. Okay, so maybe there are some control issues popping up during this Aries season for you that are across the waters that Spirit wants you to look a little deeper at. Yeah, spend a little bit more time analyzing with the Four of Swords. Yep, and the Six of Swords, so you know how to clear your path, and especially your mental viewpoint. Come on now. I know it might be hard to hear, but I'm definitely clarifying and confirming something that somebody needs to hear when it comes to love and relationships. That Ace of Swords with all the air energy. And that could definitely be difficult, right? Because you are connected to this more logic a little bit. As much as you maybe want to be heart forward, it's that unknown that kind of keeps you in these surface level, a little bit low vibrational type of relationships and connections or mindsets, or how you're looking at love could be a little low vibrational. Okay, again, we all dip in and out of that energy. This is not a judgment. But across the waters, I mean, what more else is across the waters than the Six of Swords, right? It's like that's what Spirit is leading you to kind of learn how to navigate those emotions when things go wrong, or when things or people are less than perfect. How do you navigate that? Because again, I think it's an internal thing. If you don't allow yourself to be less than perfect, then you're not going to allow somebody else to be. So just keep a mindful eye on when that pops up in your relationships and how to best navigate it. So what would be that navigation? The Queen of Cups, knocking out that Knight of Cups. Right, exactly. Mastery. And the Eight of Wands. I think this is about emotional regulation as well, Taurus, Gemini. There maybe needs to be a little bit more work or focus on that with that Eight of Pentacles. Because again, I just think it's like there's this desire to just run and move on so quickly when you are disappointed. Yeah, let's pull all this out. Well, I'll pull all that out once we read from the book. Give me a second. Let me grab it. Where are you at, Mr. Book? Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on now. Where'd that book go? There we go. All right, let's just quickly read. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just get a little deeper understanding because I'm still learning this deck too. And yes, it takes me a little minute to really get the feel fully. Okay. All right, it says, this oracle of the blood dance brings you confirmation that you are connected to the divine source, to all that is. If you're experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, from your body, from another, or from the divine, even from your own feelings, spiritual connection, or your intuition, be rest assured that this is temporary and a part of the cycle of life itself. Soon all connection shall return with even greater warmth, that sun energy, and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you've been journeying in life and fear that you have lost your way, Taurus, Gemini, do not trouble yourself. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. So this is a calling home across the waters. Yeah. This is a calling home. The feminine leading the way. Let the feminine lead the way. 42 breaks down into a 6. So this is about you finding some sort of harmonic balance when it comes to your love and relationships. 39 breaks down into a 12, which is just a 3. Okay. And it says that this oracle brings confirmation to you that what you have been feeling or sensing, even without any logical or physical evidence, is worth following up on. That's that Eight of Pentacles. Look a little deeper into it before you make a choice or decision to move on or to not reach out or to not move forward. You see what I'm saying? Like there's something about that. Because if you're sensing something, you should absolutely trust your senses, okay? Over the appearances. Definitely go back and watch your astrology reading, okay? Trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction, okay? So this is about surrendering to your senses. Because I think maybe on surface, right, something looks good, something looks fun, something looks safe, but the truth of it might be it's a trap or it's not really safe or healthy for you. So it's almost like the divine is trying to get you to avoid falling into a a self-created trap where you're not trusting your senses, you're casting your senses aside and just going with the appearance or the surface level look or feel of something. And you need to feel a little bit deeper into it so that you can find that truth, okay? So it almost feels like the feminine is leading the way. This Queen of Cups is leading you into that clear and balanced mindset. The Four of Swords with the Six of Swords, okay? Across the waters is your Queen of Cups. Yeah, it's a Queen of Cups for you, regardless of your gender, okay? Which is Gemini, Cancer energy for me, if it's going to show up as a cusp. But it could be any water energy that's relevant to your situation, okay? And let's talk about that water. 23 with Across the Waters. Says this oracle brings you a message that it's your time to think about something in a different light, Taurus, Gemini. Soon you will have a shift in perspective and the feeling of overwhelm, the feeling of overwhelm, stress, and just too much going on will be replaced with serene trust and peacefulness. Know that beneath even the most chaotic mind is a place of deep, quiet serenity within. Do whatever helps you dive deep to find it. Yeah, you got to dive a little deeper here, okay, Taurus, Gemini? Dance, take some rest, meditate, do yoga, write, paint, make love, make music. In that quiet serenity within, you'll be leaving unnecessary chaos behind, and you'll be presented with the gift of a new way forward. Your gift is this Queen of Cups. Your gift is this Queen of Cups. So it's almost like leaving behind the low vibrational energies. Yeah, the Three of Cups that keeps you in this toxic energy with that devil, keeps you in a lower frequency, okay? Letting that go so that you can actually rediscover what your soul really craves, which is something, that peace, that serenity that comes with this Queen of Cups. And you got the Knight of Wands, but there you are. It's about trusting your senses. So elevating from a Page of Wands, which is maybe the level you've been at when it comes to your intuition, stepping into that Knight of Wands, which means you're no longer just entertaining your senses. You're no longer just receiving the downloads, right? You're acting on them. Knight of Wands, and seeing where they lead. You're not going to always get it 100% right? No one truly ever does. But the action alone of trusting yourself and trusting what your senses are telling you, trusting what the divine is communicating to you through those senses, is an act of building trust, is an act of growth, is acting in alignment with your intuition, okay? All right, and that's the judgment. That's the judgment call, that it's time for you to be happy. Okay, but you alone have the control over that. Ooh, look at this. You alone have the control over that. You got this Ace of Cups. This is you here, Taurus, Gemini, showing up as the King of Pentacles. Come on now. With the Four of Wands and the King of Cups to the Queen of Cups and the Empress. Yo, talk about a profound relationship. Yeah, you might have to leave the lower vibrational energies behind, because there is something that is truly in alignment for you, truly wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups between the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and the Emperor and the Empress here. Yeah, there's real love here for you, Taurus, Gemini. You just got to open your heart up to receive it. And again, master that High Priestess energy, Hierophant energy within you, right? Trust what you're receiving and stand on it. And don't let anybody convince you that what you're feeling isn't in alignment. Oh, it's just an illusion. No, what you're seeing is truth. Okay, that's your confirmation, my love. Let's get a little bit more detail, though, about what's going on here between the Queen of Cups, King of Cups, Emperor, and the Empress. Okay. So what are the dynamics here, Divine, between the Emperor and the Empress for Taurus, Gemini? Explore an enchanted love. I can't make it up. With security at the freaking bottom. Everything you wanted, that peace of mind. Even being able to have peace of mind consistently. I feel like that's that Four of Swords to Six of Swords energy. Maybe the Four of Swords is like a moment of peace, but when you get to that Six of Swords, it's sustained peace of mind. Ooh, that's new for me, so I love that. All right, you've got explore, enchanted love, and security at the bottom. What else? When it comes to the dynamic between this Emperor and Empress, clarity. Period. Okay, you got clarity coming in. Okay, take a ride and explore a new scenery or each other's inner thoughts. This is a sacred bond that is divinely guided and harmonious. Okay, someone finally sees the answer that was always right in front of their eyes. The vision is clear. Therefore, what shall come shall be clear too. There's that cloud 9 energy. So you might have fallen for a temporary cloud 9. But now it's time for you to get into a permanent cloud 9. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, unexpected news, but in reverse. So this is nothing new to you. This isn't like groundbreaking. I think you maybe already know who this is. Maybe even if you don't, that will become clear too. Maybe you have like a little inkling. Something about, again, their laughter might give it off. But this is fated for you. You're fated to have this kind of love, okay? Or this type of peace and serenity when it comes to relationships. Now, let's get some messages here. Okay. Oh, actually, do we do messages? Tell me a little bit more about these dynamics. Okay. So what needs to be explored between the Emperor and the Empress? What needs to be explored between the Emperor and the Empress? Thank you, Divine. The second chakra? I know that's right. This is definitely going to be a very sensual connection, especially with you both showing up as the King and Queen of Cups. A lot of feeling, a lot of healthy emotional energy, maybe some really, really bomb sex, okay? I don't know. That's what this feels like, okay? Tell me a little bit more. What's that cloud 9? What makes this love enchanted between them? The presence, it's each other. It's the presence of the divine that you both invoke within one another, okay? There's a divine presence to you. There's a divine presence to this person, or there's some form of divinity that can kind of touch ground, touch down in the 3D when you and this person are together. Tell me a little bit more about it. Yeah, it's multidimensional again. So this is a connection that maybe you were committed to in another life in some way if you believe in that type of thing, okay? But ultimately, it is here to bring about balance. Tell me a little bit more about this expected news and this clarity. It's the first chakra, right? That's what I mean. This cloud 9 isn't going to just be a fleeting experience, which is what you would maybe experience with that 3 of Cups devil energy. It's a high, and then the low breaks everything apart. It can't survive the low. This is going to be a relationship and a bond and a connection that can survive the lows. That first chakra energy, right? That's also very secure, which we saw in the other oracle. Tell me a little bit more about what's becoming clear, that there is a strong attraction here. I think you're also getting clear here, Taurus, Gemini, about what you're truly attracted to. And maybe being a little bit more honest about what you're really attracted to is going to kind of open this up for you, or bring about that sense of clarity that you really do want commitment. You're the Hierophant. And not that everybody has to be the Hierophant and be a traditional Hierophant, but there is some sort of long-term life partnership that you thrive in. You just have to identify and define what that partnership or what that dynamic should look like, because everybody is different, right? But there is a lot of attraction here. Or there will be. If this hasn't happened yet, there will be, okay? And that's what it is. It's the freedom. There's going to be a certain level of freedom that you feel around this person again, which is going to sustain that 4 of Swords, that peace, that serenity, and ultimately transform not only you, but I think this person too, okay? So it's like you're going to meet somebody at the right time in the right moment. Let's talk a little bit more and see what the Emperor and Empress want to say to one another, okay? What does the Emperor want to communicate here? I'm trying to impress you. And I miss our friendship at the bottom. I think that this person, if it's not you, okay, this Emperor definitely wants to make a lasting first impression, or wants to be memorable in some way towards this Empress. What else? You're my heaven on earth. Okay, exactly. Somebody found peace, or this will be like peace, a piece of heaven that you get to be connected to, or get to cultivate or live in with one another. Clarify. Thank you, Spirit. I don't want anyone else but you, all right? So there could be this Emperor that's gaining a lot of clarity, gaining a lot of clarity about who they want their empress to be, or what energy or qualities their empress should have. I will be reaching out soon, okay? So you could definitely anticipate some communication. That could also be that truth that might be coming towards you this month. And I'm so happy when I'm around you, and I think that's it. It's that Four of Swords that naturally happens between the Emperor and this Empress. That's kind of the tall tale. Is that how you say it? Tall tale sign? I don't think so, but it's a signifier. It's something that this Emperor is now paying attention to. That could be what's making this Emperor and Emperor, is that they're finally paying attention, and I'm truly sorry. Yeah, so maybe it took a while for this Emperor to get there if you are an Empress energy. And maybe even if you are the Emperor, I feel like there is a sincerity in that I'm truly sorry. Like, yeah. Maybe in an attempt to try to impress you, something went a little left here, okay? What does the Empress want to say to the Emperor in this situation? It's more complicated than you think. Yeah. I think the Empress, showing up here as the High Priestess, has had some sort of spiritual awareness of this connection in some way, shape, or form. And knows that it is more complicated, or that's what I mean, whatever it was that was the attempt to impress made some sort of complication. I don't know, it's something about that. Clarify, why is it complicated from the Empress? I want to help you. Yeah, I think that this Empress definitely feels a deep compassion towards this Emperor, okay? I've never felt this way, and that could also be the signifier for the Empress. Like, there's something here. Like, the connection that we have is more complicated. Or maybe, I don't know, even if you guys haven't met, it could be that sense of, I feel like the destiny around love and relationships for you, for this Empress, is more complicated than they originally thought. Like, it's not the simple traditional steps that we're taught, right? It's something that might be a little bit more of a windy road. And that was maybe revealed to this Empress. Tell me a little bit more. I sabotaged our connection out of insecurity, right? I could talk to you forever. I almost feel like whatever was done to try to impress this Empress could have triggered them. Okay? Could have definitely triggered them. Triggered an insecurity within them. So there is a lot of healing that's meant to happen. Yeah, I adore you. And I'm working on being a better version of myself. And I think that's what was triggered. So it's almost like this Emperor maybe now is aware that they've triggered this Empress in how they attempted to impress them. Because that's what that feels like. And it pushed this Empress to have to face some sort of insecurity and work on being a better version of themselves so that they can be more receptive maybe to that, or that, again, whatever that insecurity that was struck was like, ooh, this is kind of nasty, a little ugly, I don't want to carry this around. So I feel like this Empress has maybe been in a bit of a hermit energy, trying to clear that out, okay? And then I could talk to you forever. So I do think you guys are going to have a lot of healthy communication coming from this situation, or again, just a lot of deep talks. For the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, that's a very, very strong emotional bond that those two share. And I do feel that this would be a relationship here towards Gemini where you finally maybe feel safe enough to express the depth of your heart, the depth of your love, the depth of your feeling, where you didn't feel that safety or have that safety in the past. And maybe vice versa for this Empress too. All right, so let me know if any of that resonates for you in love and romance. Whenever it does, in the comments down below. I thank you guys so much for tuning in and be here. Make sure you like this post over on Patreon if you did watch. And I will see you all in our next one. All right? Namaste.